It's Valentine's Day. People are always going to be in relationship issues and worries. Someone is saying that, help me, my girlfriend dumped me because I'm super hot.
But as in they're good looking?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not a reason to be dumped, though.
Dawn.
It's not a reason to be dumped.
Okay.
Let's get to the crux of the matter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My girlfriend and I have been seeing each other for 4 months. Oh my God. When we started dating, she told me she doesn't usually go for guys as physically attractive as me, which I thought was odd. She's very cute, but not the hottest girl I've dated. Her intelligence, personality and character are why I've fallen for her. Ah. Things have been great until the last 2 weeks when she started becoming more distant and less affectionate toward me. Last weekend, she went with her single girlfriends to the Caribbean for a brief vacation. I barely heard from her after she got back, but we both have demanding jobs, so I thought nothing of it. She then called me and said she no longer wants to be in a relationship and that I'm way more attractive than her previous partners. I said, had I done anything wrong? She said, whilst on vacation, she barely missed me and fears if we continue, I'll find someone better looking or worse, cheat on her like her last boyfriend. I told her to reconsider. She didn't want to, and that's the end of that. It's a weird one because it seems like she's got more issues.
So what's his question?
His question...
Yeah.
You know what
what's
is
the
his
dilemma?
question?
Yeah.
But I guess he's upset because my girlfriend dumped me because I'm hot. Maybe he feels like, so is this going to be a thing now?
Well, I do think, in the nicest possible way, like some people don't like to date like good-looking people
On their
because
level.
of their attention that they get. Do you know what I mean? Or they might not feel that they're as good-looking as they are as well. And there's some issues surrounding that. Like if you're like if you're boy or girl, you can get a hell of a lot of attention, a hell of a lot of unwanted attention. People assume you're single more than you are, I think, as well. And it comes with issue. It does come with stuff, you know. But if she's expressing, she don't want to be with you.
Well, her insecurities are way more than you can handle, and really she's done you a favour. It's not that big a deal. It's literally like she can't handle it, because if she's going to put what happened to her in her last relationship and she got cheated on, you're good looking, you could cheat, it doesn't matter. It really has nothing to do with your looks. It's her insecurity.
But also though, him saying that she is not as good looking
already goes to show.
That's his issue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's not going to make her. If she's insecure about her looks, that is not going to make her feel
at all.
And maybe she believes she actually understands. Like, hold on, why are you with me? And maybe there's signs that you're showing, that he's been showing her, that you don't. You don't want to be. Why
you don't check for me like that.
You can imagine him being like, you know, like that girl that I was with was super hot.
Yeah.
You're cute.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People read those cues.
And you know, sometimes guys think like, you know, you're cute and I'm with you, so I'm doing you a favour.
Yeah. I bet
articulating that in that way.
Because they will talk about people being super hot and you're cute.
And then like, but you're so nice. And he said her personality.
Yes. You've got a beautiful personality.
And also, I've heard guys saying that, you know, sometimes, no, a man's not going for that level because it's too much headache.
Yeah.
But we'll go for this group of girls because that's easy to control.
Yeah.
We know that they're not going to get stolen from us.
They're going to feel grateful.
And they'll be cute. They might, you know, not enough to that they look like dogs, but when they dress up, they look nice enough.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I say? There is comely women.
Yeah. Yes, comely woman. The thing is, it wasn't too long after I did actually hear that word, but yeah, a comely woman. So that, you know, men,
it's
especially
not a thing.
Very good looking men, generally you'll see them with 4s or 5s because they can dress up to 7.
Guys, by the way, please don't feel insecure about what Auntie Nana just said.
I'm just saying, it's a thing. Like, men talk about it.
Yeah, okay. So everyone's looking at their partner like,
problematic.
Valentine's Day.
It's not me. I'm not a man.
At restaurants, there's going to be lots of couples like this.
So what am I then? A
4 or 5.
I've just heard men talk about it.
I know women, beautiful women that go, you know, you see them with a guy, I'm like, why?
No, but sometimes you have to go, not have to, but like it's
go where you're
easier.
Celebrated, not tolerated.
No. I was going to say, like, with a medium ugly guy, like, it's easier. Do you know what I mean?
But that's exactly what I said.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but
I just put so medium ugly 4-5, same thing.
But
It's just numbers.
But also, actually, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes I think it's different for guys as well, because even if they're medium ugly, for example, they're the ones that might try and punch even more or strive to do more and be more promiscuous, because they're like, I'm going to prove a point. You might think I'm butters or I ain't got the shape, but man's going to get as much as you can get. So I wouldn't even trust a middling guy as my partner.
What do you think? Butters?
No, I wouldn't go there. I'm just going to go for what I like. For me personally, I go for what I like, and that's it. I'm not going to compromise on anything. But there's going to be those guys that are because I think insecure guys do more when it comes to promiscuity to prove a point, to back up, their insecurities.
Yeah.
That's the way they present. Women, in the usual, we don't necessarily go out and cheat, but I don't know what we do. Stereotypically, shop more, eat more. I don't know. I was being stereotypical here. I don't know what we do. What does a woman who feels ugly about herself do in the way to make herself feel better when it comes to relationships?
But you can still
Whereas where I said that men cheat more.
What do you call it? Being ugly is subjective anyway.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just so.
But if you're feeling it, if you literally are like, okay, what's the compensation? I think it's probably shopping.
That's what I'm saying. You laugh, but it's a fact.
Yeah, I would say an insecure. I would say it's probably shopping, or now it would be cosmetic surgery and stuff.
Yeah,
you have all of that.
And men tend to cheat and get more women if they're straight, right?
Yeah, or spend their money on women.
Shada, you don't think that ugly men do that?
I don't.
They don't go out there spending money.
More fanny.
I don't know if it's necessarily different. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think,
I just don't know, if you can say if a woman's not feeling good about herself that she shops. I don't know if she does any different. Does she just not sleep with other people as well?
I don't.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm not saying
know,
I don't. Well, in my opinion, I would think we're not there yet. I don't think necessarily that women go and get more dick if they feel ugly. I don't know if the stats match up. Where I'm more comfortable saying that men would get more women.
I don't know if it presents. I think you get the same result, but it might present differently, or the journey to there is different.
Oh, they might stick.
So it's just it doesn't mean you don't get attention. It doesn't mean that you don't get options. You might not feel good about yourself, but those options feel good. So then you are sleeping with more people. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is essentially the kind of the same as the guy.
Yeah.
He might not feel good about himself, but he's
got options.
He still gets options.
I see.
Or go out and actively get options.
And I thought another version is
Do you know what I mean?
she might be out and be very flirtatious.
Yeah.
Get that kind of seek that instant gratification.
I don't know. But I don't know why that's part of it as well. Sorry. How do we get there?
I don't know how we got here.
We just got there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Conversations meander. It happens. So basically, back to this guy who says his girlfriend dumped him because he's hot. It's not just about the fact that you're hot, or it could be.
I think it's very. What do you call it? It's a very real thing. Dating with someone that has a hell of a lot of attention, like dating a celebrity, for example, or something like that. They don't necessarily have to be hot in the traditional sense.
Popular.
But just have popularity, power, money. Do you know what I mean? Then you're always going to get attention. And then also for women, I think sometimes it's like physical attributes. So if you've got big breasts, big bum, big lip, do you know what I mean? That kind of thing, then you can also get a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a guy feeling insecure about that stuff, it's interesting because I think a lot of guys, they really display some really unsavory behavior in those scenarios. Do you know what I mean? It's can be a real dent to their ego. But it's but you saw me like this.
Exactly. And then they want to bring you down.
I feel like they get more controlling.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised this girl, you may just cut your losses in it. I can't even be asked.
On that, there's a conversation, I don't know if you saw it, where a young lady had presented a picture of her and her partner, but the face has been photoshopped. Where they might put an emoji, now the whole face is
removed,
deleted.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is that insecurity? And then other than, what was it, the other person?
So the other girl, she does the same thing. She removes them, but her reasoning was that women keep on putting her husband on their vision boards, and she's like, she does not agree with that. She doesn't believe in the juju of manifestation. So she now is cutting. She's not posting her husband anymore.
So there's okay, Nana, you're married.
Yeah. Nana, you're married.
For all married people.
For all married, but I'm saying you yourself, you have no problem showing your husband on.
No.
Auntie Sade, in a relationship, would you show your partner? if you were in a
Are
relationship.
you going to do the emoji?
Emoji
babe.
or invisible head.
I can't lie. I've never posted anyone. Oh, no. No, I don't think
So
I've
is that a
posted anyone.
conscious thing of I'm not sharing who I'm with?
Yeah.
I
What would you do?
have shared a picture of someone I've been with, but it's not been attributed as the fact that I'm with them. And I have had a picture of an ex. Actually, I have shared a picture of my ex. Yeah. And then I remember that he removed the tag and I didn't know why. And I found out why afterwards. And I kept putting it back, and just to challenge him, I was like, I'm putting it back. But I didn't know at the time what his issue was. I
Why
really
he
didn't. But
had
then
removed the tag.
It was
Oh
that he
my
was living with his
God.
children's mother, and he hadn't told me.
Those are the things why I do think when people don't post, you're making it very easy.
You're making it too easy. But then posting with a removed head, I think it's insane to me.
It looks wild.
I can't lie. It's a bit extra.
It's silly.
But then it is like, it's feeding into, oh, I've got a man.
Exactly.
And you just don't know who he is.
It's annoying.
But like, I just think it's just so like. But this goes back to a conversation that we were having quite recently. The women that don't want to hear if their men are cheating.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's it. You want to live in the bubble of ignorance.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing. I think there is I think it's interesting, you know. I think you're one or the other type of woman, really and truly.
Yeah.
Either you want to know or you just don't want to know.
That's it.
You
But
know?
I think it's that, and I think more women and men post your partner for this. Like, I think there's two conversations. There is real things. If you really believe about juju and bad vibes and stuff, then we'll have that conversation in a second. But generally, for the removal of this constant creeping and secrecy, everyone post your partner. It shouldn't be a big deal. If you know what you're in and you're supposed, if you, man and woman, you've said, we are together, we're in a relationship, and it's very normal for you to post your everyday life, then post.
I had a friend who had that as a dilemma, actually. I should have brought it to the group last year. That her partner wouldn't post. And when he did post, it was with a thing of like, well done, and just the name. So there was no like my girlfriend
Yeah.
or babe or hun, or it was literally like a post of a picture and just, you know, this is really great that such and such has done really well.
Nah, why though?
Suspect.
What was it? What was their reasoning?
Suspect.
That he
What
doesn't post
reason?
like that.
What
No, just
reason
asking
could
what-
we
No,
do?
Guys always have reasons.
his reasoning was he doesn't post up partners, and he never has. And the
Why?
only people that go on his page that he posts up and will give them a title is his sister or his brother.
It's
Get out of
bullshit.
here.
It's all
and you know what?
bullshit.
You know what that does? Yeah, that kind of like it inserts like this thing in your mind saying you have to earn that position.
Exactly.
You have to earn the right.
Yep.
To
To
be
be there.
posted,
Yeah.
or
Yep.
like it's a privilege.
Yep.
Or something like that. That's creating that scenario. Like, get the hell out of here.
Get
man.
out. And,
It's dodgy,
that's
innit?
why it's
Yeah.
horrible. There's no explanation, and that's what keeps, especially women. I think it's the very manipulative tool that men use against women for sure. It just keeps you in that bottom tier.
Yes.
Bottom box that you're not worth it. I'm not showing you. And then they say, "Oh, because men are hungry." Shut up.
It was all the common tropes that's just going to trigger you. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's only social media. Why would you care? I'm with
yeah.
you. So now you just want the world to see us together. Like, what does that prove to you? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Like,
what
but
you
I'm
yeah.
always all of that stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like,
you're
nah.
like I hate men on social media that present as single.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in
It's so
full blown
bad.
relationships. Like on like the thing is, do you know when I know guys that are married, yeah, you would never think that they were through
Exactly.
their social media.
Yeah.
And because
Why?
they like the idea, they like the attention, they like the possibility of the attention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is,
and then yeah.
So as we know from celebrities, I don't know if you can separate that, but people will still lust. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are still going to give you the attention. If you're a good-looking man or the successful man, even if you're not good-looking, whatever you do that's charming and shows through social media, you're still going to get that attention. So why?
Because they're lying. Because I think
Yeah,
there's another
they're
girl
lying,
there.
yeah.
There's always enough. There's always
There's
someone
someone.
else.
There's
I don't think there's another.
It's not to protect their woman's honor.
No.
No.
And especially if your girl is being like, why does that post read like that? And
Exactly.
why am I not on your feed? Then do something about it.
Never-
But to
Yeah.
come with all of the excuses,
Yeah, then
you
no,
know, it's
I'm
just
not
not what
doing
I do. No, you're dodgy.
And then
Or-
you're seeing someone else or someone who follows you, you want attention from them.
Yes.
Or is giving you attention or is in
Yes.
your DMs or you're hooking up with. There's something.
So in that, should this be a part of the conversation when you're establishing, like, say you've gone on a date, it's Valentine's Day, we're getting to know each other, maybe it's 3 dates where it's Valentine's, we're going out, and you're exploring the rules and boundaries of relationship. Should this be a discussion like posting on social media? How do you feel about it?
I'm already going to know.
Yeah,
if I'm dating you, I've already looked at your social media, so I'm going to know what your patterns are.
In this way of like life at this moment, I think you do have to have the etiquette of what we're doing with our socials.
Okay, that's a nice way to put it.
I think it's an outward thing. Like, what do we do? Do we share?
So what if the person was like, no, I don't really show. When is it okay for someone to be like, I don't really?
Are you undressing?
No, I'm redressing because this shirt, Zara, I love you, but this shirt is a problem. You know, it keeps popping and showing the bubbles. It's not on peppers. I'm trying to keep it controlled. I'm saying so. If the guy was like, you know, I don't actually share on social media, what's the rules here?
You know what? The thing is, I think like that. I do know some guys that are like extremely private and they only have social media for their business, for example. Yeah. So if that's just business, then I can understand that.
I get that.
It's not personal.
Right.
I get that. Yeah. I would have,
But if it's a personal page,
if it's personal, then what the hell?
What's your problem?
Unless you don't post at all, I don't
That's
want to
another
see
thing.
any posts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that has to like translate into your whole being existence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it makes sense. Like you can't be life of the party everywhere, but you
all of a sudden you've got no social media.
Do you know
I want to see where that burner phone is.
Yeah,
And
that
that
doesn't
burner
make
account.
sense to me. Also, as well, like I'm a girl. Like if I like someone, I'm putting that in the group chat as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As soon as I get a picture, like does
To
anyone
see.
know this guy?
Yeah.
You know, there's Facebook groups. Like I think in America on by city,
It makes sense.
where they're just like, whose man is this, or like who knows this man, and people put in their husband. Is anyone dating him? Which I love.
I think it's a
I
good
absolutely
idea.
love it.
I think at this
It's a
point in
good
time,
idea.
you kind of got to do that. You have to be like, okay, so here is the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to hear about it, is it not better to hear in the first month than 2 years
Yes.
later?
After kids and mortgage and shit like
You
that.
may as well hear from jump.
So what
Yeah.
about you guys when it comes to spirituality and juju and bad vibes and karma? Because there is something attached to people doing roots and stuff with pictures. And what's your
Like a
belief
vision
in those
board.
things?
I think she's doing
Vision-
that woman
but-
in particular. That story. Yeah, just relax, man. It's not that deep.
How
The
would you
people
feel
that
though
put
if
in-
you saw my mood board and it had your man on it?
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah,
though.
that's a bit weird.
That's weird.
Okay,
We're
it makes
friends. Do you know what I
sense,
mean? But like, that's what I'm saying. That's my point with that. It's just like these are not women that know you. Do you know
No.
what I mean? Like, or know him. They're just like the idea of what this represents.
Yeah,
Do you
they're
know what I mean?
followers. But-
Because it's just like, you know, like you would have a celebrity
I have
couple
Method
or
Man
a stock image.
It's usually a stock
couple.
image. It's
Yeah,
still
do you know what I
somebody.
mean?
Somebody
Like-
to give you a guideline of what you want. I mean, it's facts.
It's
Once
just a
they're out-
visual.
yeah.
It's not like they're wanting your man in
Yeah.
particular.
And those that do,
And then
make sure your man doesn't go for them.
it's not for you to do
I mean,
that.
yeah, obviously
your
your man
man
should
has to
not
not
go
go
to-
for
yeah,
them.
and if he
do you know
does,
what I
then
mean?
it's that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So it's just like what
It's
she was
crazy.
saying was way too much. I'm just like. What you can do is only if you're spiritually inclined or religious, all you can do is pray.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. If you think it's potentially
think
a
it is a
thing,
thing,
that's
yeah.
all you can do.
Yeah.
And your prayer should be deep enough and hard enough to protect you.
Yeah, it's
Because
true.
they're actually married and you're an influencer.
Yeah.
So you're putting
Images
stuff out there
outside
and
all the
expecting no one to
time.
respond.
People buy the clothes that you influence on, they do your beauty brands, and now they want a relationship
Like
that is like
yours.
yours that you've presented. So getting vexed now that people are putting your relationship on their vision board is
just
nonsense.
weird.
Anyone who posts their floating man on, you're mad. I'm sorry.
I think it's
You're
just
not well.
weird.
Removing the head.
Removing
Well,
the head.
thing is, I think it's hilarious.
It's stupid.
No, I think it's actually
If my daughter did it,
funny.
I'd kick her. Like,
Really?
yeah, what are you doing?
No, I think
It's
funny.
nonsense. I
can't.
actually
But it
prefer
just-
the emoji
but it
than the
shows-
floating
Innit?
head.
The
It shows
yeah.
me. All it shows me is that you're insecure.
Yeah.
That's
And you're
all I
mad.
can learn. That's all
Yeah.
I can learn from that. It's just
Or
like you're
that's
really
somebody
insecure.
else's man.
Or like, or
There's
you
that
think,
too.
or you think someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the side chick then. That's somebody else's man.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
Because why are you not claiming him first?
It's true. Why, what?
No, I think that's funny.
Yeah, it's that.
What is that?
Because you know that you're not
That's
100%
funny.
the number one.
No.
In either way, whether you think you're number one or you're not, you're not number one.
No. But that's not why they are posting it. They think they're number one.
There's that too.
No, they think that's why they're posting it like that, because they think they're number one and they don't want any competition.
And you're
That's
not.
it.
And you're not.
Like,
Because when the guy is like, this is okay for you to present me like this, he's
You're a
no
fool.
good either.
You're both fools.
Headless man.
That's
he's no
true.
good.
Fools.
He knows what he's
Imagine
doing.
like,
That's
yeah.
true.
Imagine he's like, yeah, babe, that's right. right. That's right.
Yeah.
Take my head off.
I would be discouraged if a man was like encouraging me to post like that.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
I bet he does. I bet he is like, remember when you post that, take my head off. And she's like, oh yeah.
Imagine me sitting there saying, yeah, baby, all right then. I'm a fool. Everyone slapped me. Everybody slapped me. I didn't, because I suppose I haven't been in a relationship long enough. But when I posted the picture of that guy that we were in a relationship, I had no thoughts about it. I'm posting it.
Yeah, because we're together.
I don't know.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we're dating.
And look at him removing his tag. Yeah, that's that's a huge red flag.
Sneaky
as well.
Because I'm betting you he didn't think that you
didn't really notice
that
and
you'd done that.
Oh, of course.
And I think I was like, and I think I must have said, well, did I say something? I can't remember. It was 5 years ago now. I cannot remember. I feel like I brought it up, and he had some lame excuse, and I was like, But for me, I didn't suspect that I didn't suspect the situation that we were in. I really didn't. I thought other personal issues, but I didn't think it was another woman. So that's why I didn't click to what he was doing. But it was dumb.
Did he try and do one of those, like, I've changed my settings, and sometimes
something? There was some sort of something, like, you know.
I know those ways we go.
He had so much, but it's only
guys
because
always try and do that.
Only because his behaviour I didn't think it was another woman. I thought he had personal issues. I knew something was up. I didn't think it was another woman. I would have cut on. Anyway, back to this conversation, establishing conversations when you're dating. How does a woman discuss finances without coming across as a false gold digger?
I don't understand why that should come across as a gold digger in the first place.
You mean like when they ask how much are you earning?
Like really having because I think there's this whole conversation about if, you know, people are now lazily saying that, you know, for example, black women, all we want are money men and da-da-da-da-da. So, but then we have every right to, in my opinion, to establish a man's finances and make considered decisions or informed decisions when it comes to dating someone. But how do you navigate that? If you are sensitive to that stereotype that, oh God, if I start asking about money, I might come across like all I want is his money. But actually, I'm just someone that's about being secure and financially stable in a relationship because these things are important to me. And I do want a man who's financially stable, but I'm not a gold digger. How does a woman broach that conversation in someone she's dating?
It's leading questions. I think it's crass. When like you have it generally is young people who go into the like, what do you earn?
Yeah,
I think that's a crass question to ask.
Wait,
but
what?
you can use leading questions. You could be like, where do you like to go on holiday? Where do you shop? Like, there's just other things. It's a conversation.
Why do you have to dance around it?
I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's crass.
No, yeah.
If I was a man, I would not respond to anybody coming to ask me what am I earning.
I think it's good that you're not and that you're not dating.
But that's what men say as well. They don't like it. Is that why?
Which men?
If a man is going to come along and ask you, what are you earning?
I think it's fair.
Think that's okay.
I think if you're having a conversation of money, I can ask you. You can
no,
ask me.
It's not about
and
money.
It's just like
asking questions. It's getting to know each other. So
I'm saying that you're having a conversation and it can get to the subject of money. Do you know what I mean? And I can ask, what do you do? Okay, what are you on?
Yeah.
Okay, he can ask me exactly the same thing, and I can say or I cannot say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's okay to ask. I think it's fine to ask. What do you do? But then you would ask, what do you earn?
Yeah. What are you on?
No,
I think I wonder. I don't think I've ever asked what money you've made, but I don't think it should be a thing. I see the slight cack in what you're saying in that it's crass to just say, well, what are you on? Because I think definitely in the UK, we have this thing with money and revealing what we make anyway. There's a little reticence about doing that. But I think that there's nothing wrong with having an exploration of like, what do you do? Oh, you must be making money, or what money do you make? Because if it is that conversation about, because how do you get to, this is how much money I earn, or this is what I want to do, whatever that money building conversation is, how do you get there?
The thing is,
why do you have to dance around it?
The thing is as well, like it will save a lot of dating people a lot of trouble and a lot of time if people were just honest about this kind of thing in the first place anyway. Because if a guy is taking you out, I don't know, somewhere fancy, and they're talking about their job and then what you do, then you'll slowly, surely start to understand these numbers are not adding up unless they're like unless they've got a very good mindset about money in general anyway, and they've been saving for years. Things will not add up. Do you know what I mean? And then you can make a very informed decision whether this person is right for you or not, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think
it takes time.
I think that also like I think there is this misconception that we still kind of play in that it's like only what the man earns that's important and not what the women, like men only go for women, they can go for any kind of woman and they don't care what they earn and everything. And as we're getting older now and as our society's changing, that's going to be more and more important as well. Do you know what I mean? You guys having a joint income if you want a certain type of lifestyle.
Absolutely, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? And you have to have an understanding also as well. It's not even just what you earn as well. What also I wish we had better conversations about actually how much debt do you have?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Because that's you have to lead into that. I don't think these are
okay.
No, but
these
are we
aren't
talking about
establishing
like a first conversation? Is that what you're putting it as?
I'm talking
I guess, go on.
as in your early dating. It's not, I don't think it's the right way to establish any type of union going forward to ask somebody what they're earning. There's other ways to have conversations where you don't have to get into that. It is finding out what the person's lifestyle is. Does that actually work out? You can have more leading questions. It shouldn't go straight into how much do you earn? And also, finding that out doesn't tell you anything. How much do I earn? I earn 100 grand, but I'm $1 million in debt. It doesn't say anything. You need to know a little bit more about the person.
I think it's not, you don't end the conversation there then, because that question I suppose it doesn't have to be as direct, but also going around it and removing that question and saying that's a bad question to ask when you could get to the answer quite quickly. Okay, I make 100 grand, but it is then those other conversations. It's a conversation around it.
You need more conversation.
You can't just
pieces.
ask that and then that's it and make a decision based on that, because I get that.
I think if you're going to make a judgment on me answering a question, then we're not supposed to be together anyway.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, it's just like I can't change the perception of a guy thinking I'm a gold digger if I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to want to be with a person like that anyway. So really and truly, personally, I don't care what you think. If I want to know this information, I'm going to ask.
And this is like an advice piece for young people. I would just advise, like, don't.
No, I think
don't ask it. Ask more leading questions.
I would
go straight
say,
in.
if you want to ask those questions, I think it's okay to like.
It's down to the person whether they want to answer or not. And if they're judging you based on you asking a question, that can never be a good thing.
And I think if you're going to make a decision on if they make 20 grand to 100 grand to whatever grand, and you're going to say, well, if it's on the lower end of what you're expecting, and you make a decision like that's it without any exploration of what they're doing and how they want to build on that. Because if it's like, how much are you making? 20 grand, for example, I'm saying 20 grand. And then there's no like, but what are your future dreams? How do you expect to build on that and stuff like that? And you're like, oh, man makes 20 grand, so I'm off because you can't buy me Balenciagas. If it's that kind of childish exploration of that. But some people are making
also
those
as well,
decisions.
they are young as well. So they can have childish explorations if they want to. Also as well, there's this clip going around on TikTok at the moment where this girl this guy asks this girl, how much do you want the guy to be on if you're going to date? And she says 30k. And she's in uni, right? And like she's getting so much backlash, but she goes to LSE. She's planning to be an investment banker. That's the reality for her. Do you know what I mean? So she's getting all this backlash, like, and it's just like so short-minded in terms of like not everybody who is talking or can have a conversation about money is a gold digger.
Yeah,
just not.
It's not true.
It's just not true.
But also that's still lacking. If you're setting your sights on as a uni student, this is what I'm after as a guy on 30k. There's a hell of a lot of assumptions that 30k is going to lead to a better life than somebody that's not what
that's not what she said, and it wasn't the deep, insightful thing. It was just like a snap question. What's the minimum? That's what it was.
That's my point, though. That's short-sighted. You set yourself as a target of this is what you're after, but somebody who may not actually be in employment, who's gathering all of their bits together, who's earning less, could be the guy that is going to take you further. You're cutting yourself off from a cliff.
Can I just say that I think that I understand both, because I sit in the middle. Because I think there's an element of, there's this narrative that women should just be hopeful and waiting and hopeful and take any guy that comes along, as long as he's nice, as long as he's hard, trying his best. And maybe, just maybe, he'll be that guy that makes the money that you two can be successful. That's a narrative that's given to women, because especially when they're trying to say like, you don't want to be single, you're going to end up single if you don't take this guy. So just stop trying to be so fussy, stop having all these goals and just take this guy. So I think there's an element of that where...
That's not what I'm saying, though.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but that's the kind of thing when people say like, okay, 30k is my goal, and that's wrong.
The point is, you're setting a limit that can cut off a blessing because you have a figure in your mind, and that's not what it is. It's not on a salary. It's on the qualities of the person. It's on the building of the person.
Yeah, for sure.
Having
a
direct
what she was asking. That wasn't the framework of how she was asked. It wasn't like an in-depth thing on to consider other things. It was just a quick.
No, I get that.
So I don't want her to be judged.
No, I get. I'm talking generally. It's not about her. It's when people have figures in their mind, when they're like, "Oh, I need a six-figure man." You're not thinking of all of the other things that it takes to get there because you're missing out.
But then the women that the women that do want a six-figure man and are striving for a six-figure man and understand that, yes, you might miss some people, but you might still. Some of them do still get that six-figure man,
but they are in a minority.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's when that rhetoric gets out there that this is something to aspire to. You have to remember that it's a minority that hits that jackpot, and the rest of everybody else who's striving for that, you're missing out on your blessing.
So,
I don't know if they're missing out on their blessing personally, but I think
that's what they want.
I think it's always good to go for what you want. Do you know what I mean? If that's what you want, you should try and go for it.
And I think you find the person that's on that wave with you. I think that's what's missing in all of this. Is like you can ask all the questions and someone could have all the perfect answers and there still can be arseholes.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's all of that. So there's someone that could have the money that...
And then the other thing, which I really, really, really like to tell young people is that I've dated so much in my life, and I choose not to date these last couple of years because... I was there. I dated the struggling artist. I dated the broke good guy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if it's all that it's cracked out to be. Do you know what I mean? I really don't know. I would have rather had a bit of income.
Do you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, there was something that came. I wish I could remember it properly, but something about guys who are broke are not. Something about they're not. They've talked about how they're not good to date. They shouldn't be dating because they're not good people to date with because men and money is a whole different narrative to women. And they should actually, instead of getting angry with women who have got expectations, work on yourselves and remove yourself from the dating pool. I don't think that was the overarching headline. But there's something that we need to, like men need to look at. Instead of getting offended about a woman that's aspirational and has goals in that respect, how about take yourself out of the dating pool or present honestly? Or if a woman is like, you know what, this is what my intention is.
I just don't think get super offended. Like, I don't want to go down red pill world because that sounds, do you know what I mean? But I think like just don't get super offended. If that's not what they want, then next move on. Do you know what I mean? And vice versa. Like if that's not what they want, next move on. Just don't take it so personally. I just hate that when guys like, she wants it like, oh, you're gonna end up lonely and da da da. Do you know what I mean? It's just
it's a projection. But I think that's a valid thing. Like for anybody, my nephews, it would be like, if you don't have the means to do it, don't date.
And don't take out on women just because do you know what I mean?
You don't have the means and you're not going to be in the right frame of mind. And most men aren't. If you're not financially stable, you're not in the right frame of mind. Leave people alone.
But also, and there are women out there that don't mind. They actually don't mind. You just want that one.
That girl.
Do you know what I mean?
That's another
thing. Stop. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that
meme though. Do you know what I hate? That you know that cartoon meme of the girl and the high school girl and the high school guy. He's the geek and she's with the baller. And then years later, she's a single mother and the geek is now like a super flying guy.
Like the billionaire.
Fuck off. I can't stand that because it's so misrepresentational. It's like it's such a. You were a geek. You didn't have swag. The guy had swag and he got the girl. That's all.
I really want there to be a study on like geeks that are arseholes now in adult.
Most
it's
of them.
Annoying.
Like I swear to God, like it's an
there's a lot. There's a lot.
Because do you guys, have you ever had that feeling like? Because I suppose there's the whole glow up thing and stuff like that. Do you ever feel like, look at me now? And do you have bitterness towards anyone that didn't like you for whatever reason when you were younger?
No.
And especially, I don't know if anyone's had that.
What do you mean?
So. Maybe it's the wrong example to use you guys as an example, but for someone who was maybe overlooked in their younger years and then had that glow up in life, whether it's financially or looks or whatever, and now they're getting all the attention. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that.
Oh no, Debbie did that the other day. Actually, Debbie.
Who's Debbie?
Oh, Debbie Sokar, I think her name is. She's a comedian. Online, and she showed her glow up pictures, and she was like, what it is you want to be with the person that invested in you. Because then they get their return. So before I was ugly, and this is her words. She was bigger and she absolutely has had a glow up, and now she's like a super influencer. And she shows the pictures, and she's like, so for the guys that were checking me then, look at what they've got now, and it's investment. And she's like, ugly ducklings always turn into swans.
Yeah.
So invest in the ugly duckling, because you will get a return in your investment. It was a good piece. That there was loads of people being like, I'm there now, and I had my man from I was 15. Da, da, da. But yeah, there is that. I don't know. I feel like I hear men talk about that way more than women.
Yeah, I feel like men are a lot more bitter with it. I don't know if it's...
I don't know about. I definitely was an ugly duckling, like for sure. Do you know what I mean? But yes, I laugh on the souls of my enemies.
Yeah, it's that. It's do you have that
but
feeling?
I mean, there's certain people, 100%, yeah. I would love to be like.
I remember.
Sit down.
Really?
Yeah.
I do remember.
Do you know what I mean?
I do remember going to a funeral of someone that passed, and it was
bro.
No.
Kind of
No, but sorry, it's facts. Went to a funeral of someone that passed, and
Not
you know
even
when
an event, you know.
no, it was a funeral, but it was just the fact that it was one back in the end, and there's some old school guys, and looking at them, they were the guys of the guys
How
of the
good,
guys,
innit?
and they don't look so good.
Oh, not
and
so much guys. Sorry, I wasn't talking about guys personally.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying my scenario.
Yeah.
And I had a few of those guys that definitely didn't pay me no mind back in the day. Were like, right, is that you? Yeah, in the way of their addressing to me, and any kind of conversation like, right, that's you, yeah. And I never felt like, but I did feel like, yeah, that's me, innit? But look at you, but you know what I mean? You don't look so good again.
Yes. Sometimes fortune doesn't go in the same favour.
Yeah.
No, I just remember definitely girls like thinking that
they were too nice, and then
I was like always not kind of like picked in certain categories. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah.
I guess
and life comes at people fast, you know.
It really
like you know, like the estate hotties, and then you look back and then you see their life, and it is like, oh my god, it wasn't favourable
at all.
You know?
It was rough.
And you know, like some people didn't grow into their looks.
No, not at all.
They didn't.
What we were celebrating back then, it's like, okay,
yeah. You look at it, it's like, wowzers. Yeah, life weren't easy, was it? Well, I thought you was gonna ride this wave.
Okay, to be fair, there's an element of smugness then.
No, there is. It's true.
Like, certain people just be like,
it's true.
Yeah, come to lunch, babe. Don't worry, I'll send you a card. Don't worry. Like, serious.
It's like, ha ha.
Yeah.
There are a few people that were a bit mean to me in high school. I wonder if they're looking at me now.
Yeah, probably.
But it's not dwelling on me.
No,
though.
they're probably look at your LinkedIn. You'll see who's looking at you, mate.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. True that. I forget about that.
It's true. See who's like, or you know, like Facebook. That's when people would like search you out and add you and stuff, and then you could go and look and be like, oh, okay, life ain't been too great.
There were a bunch of bitchy girls that I wanted to like. But also, send us your dilemmas, send us your problems. We'll try and resolve them as best we can. YourAuntiesCouldNever at gmail.com. If you've got any problems that you'd like us to solve, please do send them through.
Or DM us.
Or tweet us.
Yes, if you want everyone knowing. But okay, bye.
Bye.